Hey Scott,
How's it going?
good man. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Just
Thanks for jumping on the call, man. I appreciate it.
yeah, always a pleasure.
Um, yeah, I mean we've known each other for quite some time now, and I always kind of like to lead off with how we met. But we have a mutual friend, and we started kind of chatting. You're from Montreal, and I'm originally from Montreal, so he thought it would be a good fit for us to kind of connect, and we did, and we had a lot in common. I'm thinking that's got to be what, 2.5 years now?
Yeah. So what we when we originally planned on seeing what the West had to offer, what that was in 2018.
Yeah,
Taken and then 2019 January was when we went out there.
yeah,
Uh,
totally.
yeah, super grateful for obviously Kyle putting us in touch, and super grateful for the opportunity to get out west and like experience it, and obviously work under you, which was a super good learning experience. Just to see what like outside perspective. And since I've been in the fitness industry, it's been like go go go. It was like
Totally.
okay, uh, started learning and then started like an internship, and then 6 months down the road it was like the guy who's I'm working for is like, okay, I got to I'm out of here, do you want to buy the gym? So you know what, when I went out to Calgary I felt there was a lot more opportunity to like further my education and knowledge, a lot more time, and I think you as a leader really provided like uh, a good like atmosphere for that. I think you always wanted like your team to grow, so education was like a priority for you, and educating us was an importance, and not for the business, but I really appreciated that. So it
Oh,
was
that's
awesome.
great, man. I appreciate that. I mean, you took a tremendous leap of faith. So kind of we'll give the short version, but sold your gym, moved your family,
Yeah.
newborn, right? Like a year old, maybe.
Yeah, Emma was a year at the time. Yeah, a year
Yeah,
in January 26th, and we moved out there January 1st. So yeah.
crazy, right? So like just big lifestyle change. No family, no other real reason to come. So I
Experience,
mean,
life
yeah,
experience.
crazy. And then, shortly after there was another kid on the way, and now you're back in Montreal. You started a new gym,
Yeah.
and obviously amongst a pandemic, that is no easy feat, right? So you inspire me, man. Like that is a big deal.
Yeah.
So in terms of coaching, so we built this relationship, and then after settling back into Montreal, you decided to reach out to me and look for fitness coaching. Being a fitness coach, some people might think that is an interesting request, but I've had coaches in the past, and I totally get it. But what has it been like working with me so far?
Honestly, awesome. Everything I expected it to be. You know, I was getting into like, I was starting to make a ton of programs. Business was getting really good, and so time for myself, as you know, took kind of a back seat. So focusing on like my periodization and like my long term fitness goals for myself wasn't something I was prioritizing, and I was kind of losing sight of that. So I was like, you know what, a barber doesn't cut his own hair. Let's outsource this, and what better guy for the job than you, man? Like I uh, really enjoyed what I learned from you in my short time in Calgary. So I figured we'd be a good fit, and sure thing. After a couple of calls, and obviously now we're going what, like 4 or 5 months now into training. I know
Yeah,
just 100 sessions, so
yeah, buddy.
yeah, I like the direction we're going in, and the body feels great. Like I had some nagging
Awesome.
issues, uh, like we say, like a couple injuries that are life well lived, that
So
we might not ever be able to get over, but uh, everything else feels really good, and yeah, man, I've never felt
good.
better.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah,
you're putting in the hard work, man. But you kind of touched on the second question: is what inspired you to look into coaching. But being a new dad, business owner, in the mix, in the trenches every day. I like I said, there's a lot of you that I see in my, or a lot of you that I see in myself,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, it's no truer than like having a coach to offload your own design. That it really does help. One is like your training, and then two is like creativity and in other people's designs, and just like it's really is a valuable service.
Yeah.
Um, what were you doing before for fitness? Like, has it changed tremendously, or is it still very similar? Like, tell me a little bit about the backstory.
So for my own fitness, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, you know, similar to like what I give to my clients, like obviously the 6 fundamental movement patterns, and focusing on like pain-free longevity.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit, especially with my clients, I'm a little cautious, if you will,
Hmm.
and I kind of do that with my own personal fitness just to make sure, like, I know what it's like to be injured. I hate coming back from injury. I hate dealing with injury. That puts like a real big stick in the spoke, if you will. So I'm pretty conservative in that nature. So just that's always how it's been. Like,
Yeah. So like a well-rounded approach. You,
yeah,
you look at
exactly.
look at the full body. It's not like we're not leaning towards a bodybuilder split or full on CrossFit. It was more just like functional training,
Yeah,
if you want to use those
exactly.
words.
Yeah,
That's
functional
great, man.
to everyday life, focusing on like 3 planes of motion all around, and just making people move well, and yeah,
Live long, right?
yeah,
Move
move
well, live
well,
long, right?
long, exactly. Yeah.
um, so how do you like the coaching calls in the True Coach platform? I know you use True Coach as a coach, so I'm assuming it's everything you hoped it would be as the experience as the user end. But take me through both those, the coaching call and the True Coach platform.
Yeah, so True Coach, obviously, you're a guy I don't necessarily want to disappoint. So having that accountability, and checking off those boxes, making sure, and you're pretty active there. So like hearing good feedback on like a pretty heavy load that I lifted that day, always helps. And
Hmm.
um, the coaching calls are amazing. Like I said, being a coach myself, like we don't touch too much on myself. It's more like conversation, uh,
Hmm.
similar to what we had, like that once a week meeting back at Calgary Central. So just picking your brain and uh, your approach to fitness, and like last call was really awesome. So we talked about like different movement patterns, loading techniques. So it's educational, and it's nice to see an outside perspective. So I love that. Like those, probably the one thing I look forward to once a month is that. Well,
Well, I'm always honored that someone finds value in our conversations, and I do really appreciate you saying conversation because I'm doing some deep digging into coaching and just like how we interact with each other, and it is such a collaboration, right? It really is. It's not just a one directional experience where I'm just dictating or directing.
right.
It has to come back full circle. There has to be meaning for you as the experienced person in the room of your own body. So there has to be some collaboration there.
Exactly.
And I really love those conversations. That's the highlight for my month as well, is every time I get to hop on a call with someone and talk to them about how they're doing and what's going on in their life. And then of course we touch a little bit about fitness and build there as well. And
Right.
and it's kind of like a hot knife. We're just through butter, right? We're just like in and out and like get it done, and like the loop continues, right? So I really do love those as well.
Yeah.
Um, so you mentioned you really enjoy the coaching calls, and I don't want to put my bias there, but what's your favorite thing about working with me?
Um, Man, I would say your ability to adapt, 100%. Like you really listen when we meet every month. So whether it's like things going on in my personal life, stress related, um, or like injuries, and you just know how to adapt like right on the fly. Um, So I think, yeah, just adaptability and relatability, especially in my case, because you're there, you're a business owner, you're a guy in the fitness industry, you have two kids, two very young kids, a wife. So uh, I think relatability and adaptability is like two of your biggest, uh, most important traits for me as a client, and that's what I feel like I need. Uh, so yeah, thanks, man. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Oh man, I'm getting goosebumps. That warms my heart so much, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I just want to hold a safe space for you guys and like make sure that I'm listening. And so saying those things means a lot to me, man. I'm gonna get a little teary eyed, you know? Like that's no, I'm serious, man.
yeah.
Um, how would you describe what I do? Like if you were gonna describe it to someone, what would you say?
Um, Man, where do I start? How would I describe what you do? Um, Man, you just like you care. So it's that's a tough question.
That's enough, man. Like to me, that's all I need to hear.
Yeah,
I care what I
I
do.
mean,
I just care, man. I just
yeah,
care. Whatever you need,
you,
I care.
you
Right?
care. I mean, it's easy to put to throw a bunch of exercises together and throw it at someone, especially when there's like that barrier of remote coaching. Like,
Hmm.
it's very easy to just be like, "Hey, go do this, and we'll check in 30 days." But it's like, no, man. Like touching back on the last question, like you have to adapt to that person's lifestyle. You can't just beat the shit out of them and expect them to go throughout their day and uh, you know be a coach, be a dad. So adapting to their that person's life is huge. Like you realize that that person has a life outside of the gym. So that 1 hour a day, um, you know, isn't meant to like beat the piss out of them. You
Right.
gotta so getting the inside out of what that person's going through on a day to day is is like is super important. So
I
uh,
couldn't agree more, man. That you hit the nail on the head. I think that's the value of a coach is understanding and relatability, like you said, and
yeah,
adapting, and it really is a powerful thing.
value of a good coach.
There you go. Exactly.
Value of a
Uh,
good
why did you choose me over anyone else? You're obviously well versed in fitness and the fitness industry. You probably have a lot of people you could reach out to. How did you land on me, man?
well, I've experienced with other coaches prior to hopping on with you. I first person that came to my head. I won't name any names, but I learned a lot from that person um, in terms of like education. They actually like run a CBT course, so which I had taken a couple of years back, and they're on the south shore of Montreal, so it was really easy to like communicate and go get like my monthly check-ins with them. And I just feel like it wasn't really a good fit. So then that's when I thought of you, and I was like, okay, like yeah, he's across the country, but I got confidence in his service, and I've seen firsthand like what you're capable of and your knowledge, and so I was like, you know what, let's reach out to Sean, see if he's taking anyone. And yeah, next thing you know, is probably the best decision I've made in terms of my fitness goals. And yeah,
Oh, thanks, man. Like again, I appreciate that. That does mean a lot, man.
yeah.
Uh, for the kicker question here, the final question, what would you say to someone who was on the fence about working with me?
Um, just try it, try it. Uh, have a phone call with him. Yeah, he won't shy away from having a conversation with you. So just get on that phone call, and I'm sure you won't regret it. Yeah,
Thanks, man. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think just talking to you is a good selling point, honestly. Yeah,
Well, thanks, man. Like, I hope I wear my heart on my sleeve, and people can feel free to reach out to me in any way. So I appreciate you taking the time today, man. And man, like I said before this call, we were we were on for a few minutes just chit chatting, and man, this is as much fun as it gets for me. Just like being able to hear everyone's story and kind of understanding where they're coming from. It actually, it's been transformative and even my understanding of what I thought I was doing as a coach. And
Yeah,
man, I can't say how much I appreciate you and you believing in me and what we're doing here. And so thanks again. And we'll be on a call about many other topics, I'm sure, in the near future. And man, just have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.
yeah, sounds good, Sean.
All right, see you, man.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.